Hello everyone, welcome to Finance, and in this video we're going to cover a very short stock trading strategy review based on the transactions last week, August 14, and in particular we're going to cover AREIT, DMCI, Rojas and Company, and DNL. So here's a very short disclaimer. So we have here the portfolio summary for AREIT. We have -5 unrealized losses. For DMC, we have positive 1.28. For DNL, that's 2.84. And for RCI, that's positive 2.08%. Now, why did we consider buying these companies? So first, yung fundamentals are acceptable. And then for AREIT, for example, kahit na meron siyang negative 5.30% unrealized losses, this is the first REIT company of the Philippines. So REIT company kasi, they can deliver dividend yields that are higher than traditional common stock companies. So strategy namin dito, it's like buy and hold in the meantime. And then for DMC, DNL, and RCI, so their fundamentals are quite acceptable. And if you're going to look at based on their last trading prices, if you're going to look at DMC, that's 3.6 compared to 6 pesos here, and for RCI 3.90 and then 1.25. So both are actually trading below the book value per share. Okay, and looking at the market cap versus the enterprise value, so they are still undervalued. Looking at their 2019 financial statements, and for RCI, that's based on 2018. So let's go with the chart for technical analysis. So here you're looking at AREIT. So kaka-IPO pa lang last week, so wala masyadong candles available. But if you wanted to zoom in to see opportunities, you can go to, let's say, 30-minute time frame. So here, makikita mo, let's try to zoom in. So we can see here that the stock actually ended 25.95 today. And you can see here immediate support. Okay. Ito yung mga critical levels niya, and then resistance here. So probably you will see the stock trading at this support and resistance level. So kung merong breach, let's say sa support, you can consider cost averaging. And if there's a breach dito sa mga resistance, you can consider profit taking, or just, let's say, buy and hold. Anyway, this one comes with higher dividend yield because it's a REIT company. So let's jump to DMC. So looking at the 1-year time frame for DMC, you can see here an obvious downtrend. But if you wanted to zoom in, let's try to consider, let's say, 3 months time frame. And here you can see there's a lot of red candles here. We even had doji here. The stock ended 3.69 pesos per share. So let's try to identify support and resistance. So you can see here that for your support, you can exactly identify this one here as your immediate support, and there's one here again at this point right here. And then resistance, you can see this one here, and of course this one here. So you can see that the price line, or the price, is actually testing the 26-day EMA, and there's a huge volume here for selling though. So what we can see is that the RSI is trading sideways, and that the MACD is like showing also an indication of the weaker momentum, the histogram right here. So we can consider, let's say, if it continues to go downtrend, let's say below 3.6, nearing 3.5, you can consider, we may consider actually applying cost averaging. And if we can see, the stock continues to, let's say, test 3.7, 3.8, then we may consider taking partial profit at this point here. So for DNL, So the 1-year trend for DNL, we can see here that it's still downtrend. Okay, and then if you try to zoom in for, let's say, 6 months, 3 months performance, you can see here that the fund actually just breached the 52-day EMA. But if you're going to look at here, there's a downward pressure here, and then although the stock actually ended 4.85 pesos per share. Okay, the RSI is also showing downward momentum, and there's a pretty much huge volume here for selling. So here we can identify immediate support and resistance. So from here we can see an immediate support right here, and we can also see here resistance at this point right here, and also at this point here. So we may consider again cost averaging if the stock continues to trade below 4.7, nearing 4.5. But if we can see that the stock going testing above 4.95 and then reaching the 52-day EMA, then we can consider profit taking at that point. For now, we may consider like holding this stock for quite a while until we see very clear movement, if that's going downtrend or going uptrend. And lastly, for RCI, so let's try to zoom out a bit. So we can see that before the COVID and after the COVID, the stock actually already rebounded here from I think this is around 2.3 something, and then it recovered to 1.8, and then it went downtrend again to this point here. So let's try to zoom in for opportunities. And here we can see that there's a very strong, support and a lot of indecisions here. Doji, we have very thin, volumes here. So what we can see is that although the stock actually ended 1.25 per share today, we can see that at this point here, there's actually a very strong um, support right here, and there's another one here. Okay, and for your resistance right here, you can see those points right there. So the stock actually just breached the 26-day EMA, and although that's a upward trend right there, but if you're going to look at, that's actually a bearish candle right there. So we may see the stocks trading, let's say sideways, or if we can see that the stock would test the support 1.19 or 1. Let's say 15, then we may consider cost averaging, or if the fund continues to test, let's say 1.2 or 1.3, or even if the stock tests the 52-day EMA, then we may consider profit taking at that point while waiting for retracement to come back. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you learned something. Please do like the video, and if you want others to understand, kindly share this video. And if you need to know more, kindly subscribe so you won't miss any future videos that we're going to make. Thanks for dropping by.